Excellent. All right. Well, welcome all of you guys. As always, I like to give you a little round of applause here for taking time out on a Sunday night. I know there's always something else that we could be doing, but just the fact that you showed up just really shows something as far as your desire and what you're really looking to do. So tonight you just get me. Um, I had some things that I really wanted to share with you, and Eric has been, if you haven't seen our pictures on Facebook, he's building like a really cool tree house for our kids in the backyard. And I'm going to shoot a video about it, but it's going to be really cool because Eric wants to share like the meaning behind that tree house, and it's going to be cool. He wants to do like a whole series of videos just really sharing how and why he has the time freedom 7 days a week to work on this treehouse for the kids. And so it's going to be really cool. He's been watching Treehouse Masters, so it's going to be like really sweet, like not your everyday treehouse. So anyway, tonight, what I wanted to share with you, I'm calling the 5 keys you need to unlock your potential. Get it? Key, unlock. You guys know I'm a striving comedian. I just get my jokes in here and there. But, this is something that's really important. And I know I've had some chat messages today and over the last few days, and just people reaching out, or, just kind of noticing where people are at. You guys know I just observe people and situations. And so I've just been really inspired. I highly, highly recommend. You guys know I'm always reading. Like already I have 4 things in my Amazon cart that I'm going to be ordering tomorrow, but I always have a book on my nightstand or another one on the way. And I know Pam Bartley has also read the book or is reading the book called The Inner Voice. And I've read a lot of books, and this one, you're going to receive what you're ready for, right? That's the thing about reading, and the thing about personal growth and conscious awareness is that you absorb what you're ready to absorb, right? So I was just really ready to absorb some things in this book, and not that it was on some super duper deep level. I've read some deeper books, but it was just written very well. It's very easy to understand and, more importantly, apply to your life. And I've had some huge aha moments and have implemented some new habits into my day that really, take 15, 20 minutes, but it's already started to unlock some things for me. And I've just been inspired with so many ideas, and even me, I've realized ways that I've still been holding myself back, and just really unlocked some things for me over this week. And so that's why I'm just so passionate about this topic, is because no matter how far you go on this journey of personal growth and spiritual growth, you can always go further, because you can infinitely grow. There is no finish line. It's constantly moving. Like right when you think you get there, God will show you that you have more room for growth. You have more potential that you can tap into. And I don't know about you, but that's really exciting. And so I really wanted to share with you what I came to be these 5 keys that you need to unlock your potential. So let's go ahead and get into it here. Oh. So key number 1, and before I get into this, I just, it's really important to me. You guys know I'm a straight shooter, and I hope you understand the fact that I only share things that I've applied and I've seen do amazing things in my life. So I'm never just the teacher that hasn't been the student, right? I'm only sharing things with you that have worked in my life. And I'm inspired to share them with others so you can have that same amazing feeling and transformation happen in your life. Does it happen overnight? No. But there are things that you can do consistently every day that can lead to this amazing life. And that doesn't mean that things always go the way you want them to. That doesn't mean that you're going to be a millionaire this year. but it does mean that you will have a whole new appreciation and you will function from a place of just being very humble and gracious and really appreciating everything that comes in and out of your life. And so, in order for me to really do that effectively, I can't always tell you what you want to hear. Sometimes it's a matter of me telling you what I believe you need to hear, things that I've needed to hear in order to, let go of some things that have been holding me back. And I'm also not going to tell you things that are going to make you always feel better, but I know that they can help you to be better. And that to me is more important, because I've had people around me that just made me feel better. And guess what? I never moved. I never got anywhere. I never took a step. I never grew. I never evolved. And so, I know not everyone is going to resonate with my leadership style, but I hope that you understand anything that I share is completely out of love. Anything that I share is completely out of experience. And I would never tell you something that I don't believe is 100% truth and can't really, really help you. So this key number one is taking responsibility. And, we're not brought up to take responsibility. I mean, it starts, my 5-year-old already, she wants to play the blame game. And if something happens or someone gets in trouble or someone isn't doing something that they know they should be, it's automatically, well, Sammy didn't do it, or Kobe didn't do it, or Azzy, or they want to automatically blame. And guess what? Most people do not outgrow that, because most parents are not aware enough and conscious enough to say, you know what? You need to take responsibility. And no matter what is happening, there's something right now that you can take responsibility for. I mean, I could bring all my kids in the room right now and they know that's how I roll, because I was not brought up that way. I was brought up to believe that everything I did was perfect and I could do no wrong. And honestly, you guys, I mean, I was in my mid-30s before I really realized that I had to take responsibility for my life. It was around when I turned 40 that I realized, okay, you can take responsibility for your family's finances. And I did. And just a lot of things that we don't take responsibility for. We automatically want to blame our husband, our wife, our spouse, our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our boss, traffic, our friends. Like it's so automatic. It's so programmed. It's so accepted to place blame. But if you really start to take responsibility for everything that is currently happening in your life, take responsibility for your current financial situation, take responsibility for your current relationship situation, take responsibility for your current business situation. Whatever it is, take responsibility, because there's so much power in that. There is no power in blaming people. Blaming people it's just weakness. It's weakness. It takes no strength to blame. Now, to take responsibility, that takes strength. That takes being humble. That takes swallowing your pride. That takes moving your ego out of the way. And when you take responsibility for every area of your life, you will be amazed at what can happen. Because I don't care how crappy your spouse treats you, or how crappy your boss is, or how crazy your kids are. Take responsibility. If your kids are crazy and out of control, guess what? That didn't just start yesterday. That has evolved from not teaching them certain things, not having certain expectations of them, not being consistent with what you said you were going to do, right? In your relationship, same thing. Take responsibility. What could I do to improve this relationship? Okay? What could I do to bring harmony to this relationship? Okay? Your business, take responsibility. Okay? Take responsibility for your business. Take responsibility for your personal development. Take responsibility for your spiritual development. But you know what? Nobody is going to do this life for you. Nobody. So the sooner you can take responsibility for every current situation in your life, even though it seems like, well, that just happened to me. Things don't happen to you. Things happen for you. And it's up to you to decide if you just want to turn around and blame somebody for everything, or if you're really willing to take responsibility for your current situation. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, become an observer. You guys have heard me talk a lot about this on a lot of different calls. Become an observer. And what I mean by that is, don't be so caught up in your life that, like I said, you just let it happen to you. You just let people take advantage of you. You just let people not appreciate you. You just get into situations that you really didn't have to get into. You just follow a crowd and don't even question if that crowd is moving in alignment to your truth. So if you can become an observer and you can kind of, step away from your situation and look at yourself and look at your situation and look at your relationships and look at what's currently going on in your life, as opposed to just being so stuck in it. It's kind of like this. It's like, if you walked into a forest and you had no idea how to get out, you were just kind of dropped in the middle of a forest, it would be really tough to figure out where the exit is, like to come up with an exit strategy. But imagine if someone took you up in a helicopter and you looked at that same forest, right? Your perspective would be totally different. You would be able to see more of the current situation. Your life is the exact same way. And most people live their life just in the forest, stuck in the trees. But every moment, not even every day, every moment of your life, you can consciously become an observer. You can put yourself in that helicopter, rise above whatever your current situation is, and observe it. And you will be amazed at what you will see. A big reason why people don't do this is because they're afraid of what they'll see. And a lot of the reason why they're afraid is because they don't want to take responsibility for what it is that they're seeing. Right? This is some really deep stuff, you guys, but it's real. And these are things that you can literally start to implement into your life today, like now. And I can promise you it's not always going to be easy, but it will definitely be worth it. And if you're not willing to do these things, I can't promise you a dramatic life change. I can't promise you a year from now your finances are going to look different. I can't promise you that a year from now your relationships are going to look different. Okay? But I can promise you, if you do commit to implementing these 5 keys into your life, it may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. We all have this quick fix mentality. We want everything happening right now. And if it doesn't happen, we believe it doesn't work. Give me a break. That's how my 5-year-old acts. And I have conversations with her talking about patience. Things don't happen exactly when you want them to happen. So, we got to wake up. We got to grow up. And just because something isn't happening right away does not give us a reason to quit. Does not give us a reason to make up excuses. Does not give us a reason to blame me that your life isn't changing. I'm giving you the keys to unlock dramatic change in your life, but I can't put the key in for you. I can't turn the key for you. I can't check in with you every day, every moment, every situation, every experience, and make sure that you're putting that key in to unlock your potential. That is up to you. Once again, that is taking responsibility. Okay? All right. Become an observer of your life. You will be amazed at what you will see. You will be amazed that no situation just happens. There's always things that lead to a situation. But most of you guys, most everybody goes through life with these blinders on and they're not looking at what's going on around them, and they just end up somewhere and they can't figure out how they got there. You took steps, but you were not observing those steps. Okay? Number 3, don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. People are so caught up in how they feel. Okay? I feel disrespected. I don't feel appreciated. I feel like they're talking about me. I feel. Guess what? Your feelings are fooling you. Your feelings are fooling you. We have done so many calls at this point for you to understand. And like Eric talked last week, your feelings, you think your thoughts are coming first, but your feelings always come first. And then your thoughts are based on your feelings. So most people take things so personally, and nothing is personal. Nothing is personal. I mean, I'll give you some examples. So even in your business, if someone doesn't join your business, people take that so personally. I can't believe they didn't join my business. I can't believe they didn't show up for my 3-way call. I can't believe they didn't watch the overview video. That's all about you. I guarantee there's other things that they're not doing in every area of their life. It is not just about you. Okay? Don't take things personally in your relationships. If someone isn't treating you well, number 1, you have a decision if you want to stay in that relationship or not, right? I mean, you don't have to be a victim to your relationships. But if someone isn't treating you well, again, don't take it personally. Typically when people are, just mean and nasty and inconsiderate and ungrateful, that's just how they operate. It's not just how they operate towards you. It's just how they live their life, right? People aren't consistent. People don't follow through on things. People don't do what they say they were going to do. People don't put in a lot of effort. That's just people. So it's not personal. It's not personal at all. So again, that goes back to and ties into taking responsibility. But honestly, taking things personally is just a very immature way to live. It's a very childish way of thinking, right? She's hurting my feelings. He's hurting my feelings. Okay, that's a choice. If something is quote unquote hurting your feelings, okay, you have control over your feelings. No one can make you feel a certain way. That is a choice, okay? So don't take things personally. Observe if you're taking things personally, okay? Everything ties in together. Here we go. Number 4, take your words seriously, okay? And you'll see, you notice in your prospecting, if you're kind of prospecting and recruiting the way most people do and, not marketing specifically to attract leaders, you're going to, go after people that are just average, everyday people. And most people don't take things seriously. They don't follow through on what they say they're going to do. And so this is why, me committing to these Sunday calls, I take that very seriously because I gave you guys my word that Sundays at 8 o'clock, unless, I'm on a vacation or something like that, I told you guys on Sundays at 8 o'clock Eastern, I would provide you mindset coaching. I take that seriously. If I don't feel like doing it one week, which never happens, I love doing these, but if I didn't feel like it or, no, that's not acceptable to me because I take my word seriously. And you should take your word seriously too because there's so much power in doing what you say you're going to do. And that also means be careful what you say you're going to do. Don't say yes to everything. Again, observe yourself. Being a yes person, we think it's like, being a servant, but it's not. It's being a slave to everybody around you. Okay? There's a big difference between being a servant and a slave. I serve you guys every Sunday at 8 o'clock. I don't do it because somehow I was manipulated into doing these webinars every week. I do them because I want to serve you. I want to help you. I want to empower you. So when you make a commitment to something or someone, take your word seriously, because there's really two sides to that. When you do that for yourself, you tap into something that most people are not tapping into, because most people don't take their word seriously, and they'll say things and they won't do it. And because most other people aren't following through, then they just kind of let it go. And it's just this whole huge, snowball effect of people just not taking their words seriously. So there's no standard, there's no accountability. Nobody's really striving for anything, because nobody is doing what they promised themselves they would do. And there's huge power in that, but you have to tap into it. Okay. Key number 5, true belief. This is really big, you guys. Like there's so many things I could say about this. So one is, people talk about faith and hope and prayer and all these different things. And, religion does not necessarily equal faith. Okay? Because I know I have a huge community of Christians that I'm very, very close with. And I see them live from a lack of belief every single day. Every single day. So true belief does not come from anything outside of you. True belief comes from very, very deep within yourself. And again, nobody can do it for you. But from my experience, true belief is what God really blesses. God doesn't bless prayer where there isn't true belief. God doesn't bless, asking for things when there isn't true belief there. Okay? I mean, your creator knows, right? Your creator is your spirit. So true belief is, again, a place where most people don't function. And especially if you're dealing with stuff, like everybody's dealing with stuff, whether it's a financial situation or a relationship situation or your business not growing as quickly as you would like, God knows whether you have true belief or false belief. I'm telling you, like, that is one of the most real things I could ever tell you, because I've experienced it. I lived so many years saying that I wanted this or I wanted that for my life, but inside, I did not truly believe it. I believed it, I wanted it, but I didn't truly believe it. I did not have that unwavering faith in what it is that I was doing or what it is that I wanted. So there's a big difference. And again, that's where you need to observe yourself and be very, very real and honest and true with yourself. Because there's a lot of fake believers out there. A lot of them. Most people. Okay? But if you can be that shining light that starts within you and be one of those rare people that has true belief, you don't need to know how, right? Trusting has nothing to do with the how. It has to do with the what and the why. How is what God will figure out. Okay? God will figure out the hows. So, like, I'm not even going to put big numbers out there. If you want to make $2,000 a month in your business and you don't truly believe it, you may say you want it. You may have told me on a game plan call that you want to make $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. But if you don't truly believe it, okay, there's no trying in true belief. There's no hoping in true belief. There's only doing. There's only massive action. There's only steps. You don't get to the starting line and just stand there and try to figure everything out before you get in the race, before you get in the game. You walk in faith. You walk in true belief. And you don't even have to tell anybody, right? Because that has to come from within you. The only place it will come is from within you. And you have to be constantly reminded that you have that power within yourself. That's why, honestly, if you guys are not investing 15 to 30 minutes every single day in your own personal growth and belief and development, I don't know what to tell you. It's not important enough to you. Okay? It has got to be important enough to you. Nobody can do it for you. And don't blame your kids that they interrupt you when you're reading. Don't blame your spouse that they don't like you to wake up 30 minutes early if you have to read. Stop blaming people for what you need to be doing for yourself. Find the time. Make the time. If it's important enough to you, you will do it. Okay? These are things that, there's no sugarcoating here. There's no, soft approach to sharing these things with you, because in order for you to get real with yourself, somebody's got to get real with you. Okay? And that's what Eric has done for me. That's why he's been such a big influence in my life, and why I started to bring him on these calls, because I believe he can do that for you too. I believe I can do that for you, but I can't do it any further than you want it for yourself. I can't want this great life for you and this amazing potential that's within you any more than you want it for yourself. All I can do is remind you that it's there. Okay? So that's why, even if people come and say, oh my gosh, thank you, you're so inspiring. Like, I appreciate that. I really do. I absorb that graciousness. I really do. I really do. But I know that ultimately I was just a caveat, a vessel, a message that someone was ready to hear at that time. Okay? But true belief, you don't have to build up to true belief. You can make a decision to have true belief, but that word decision, again, is something that most people are not willing to do. They're not willing to truly decide. They're not willing to truly commit. And the only reason why, if you observe it, it always comes down to fear. Always. It always comes down to fear. Fear of something you're going to lose. Fear of not being accepted. Fear of not being understood. Fear of moving away from the crowd. Right? But these 5 things, let's just go through them again. Let's just kind of sum them up. Take responsibility. Nobody is responsible for your life and what's happening in it other than you. Okay? Nobody. And the sooner you can come to terms with that, the more power you will gain and the more ability you will have to create your life. Take responsibility. Okay? Number 2, observe your life. Observe yourself. Observe, I had as my cover photo for a while, we're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. Experience or observe the human experience that you're having. Observe the human experience that you're having. Okay? Utilize the spirit that we all have, right? And observe the human experience that you're having. You will be amazed. You will be amazed. And you'll also be empowered, because you'll realize how much control Not over other people's lives you have, but how much control you have over yours. Number 3, don't take things personally. Okay, outgrow that childish behavior, that childish habit of taking everything personally and blaming everyone for the hurt feelings that you have. Okay, don't take things personally. And again, once you become good at observing yourself, you become good at observing other people, not judging other people, observing other people. And you can see everyone has an operating system, right? Like we're all kind of mini computers walking around. We all have an operating system. We all do things based on just habitual patterns that we've developed over since childhood. So that's why if things happen, and people around me are doing things and I may not agree with it, I don't judge them on what they're doing. I don't take it personally what they're doing. I observe my role in the situation. I observe what I believe to be why other people are doing the things that they're doing, but I don't get caught up in it. I don't take it personally. I observe it. I align it with my personal beliefs and philosophies, and I keep it moving. Okay? Don't take things personally. Number 4, take your words seriously. If you say you're going to do something, if you say you're going to implement certain things to grow your business that are proven, right? Please stop going out there and doing things that amateurs are doing, okay? Make sure that you're tuning into the marketing training that I've started doing since last week. But, take your words seriously. Do what you say you're going to do. Not only what you tell other people you're going to do, but what you tell yourself you're going to do. That's very important. If you tell yourself you're going to read 15 to 30 minutes of personal development or go to YouTube and watch some inspiring videos, do it. If you say you're going to reach out to 5 new people a day on Facebook to start to build new relationships and build a new warm market, do it. If you say you're going to call someone or do something at a certain day at a certain time, do it. Okay? If you commit to something, commit to following through on it. Take your word seriously. And number 5, true belief. That is such a huge key, you guys. And that will affect your life in a big, 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 big way. Having true belief. Because honestly, your abundance that you receive in your life will never go any further than the belief of what's possible that you have. Trust me, I know this, okay? When we walked away from that big income in our previous company, I've always struggled with like a scarcity mindset when it comes to money because being serial entrepreneurs, we've had good years and bad years. We've had years where, like things were very, very, very tight. Like I didn't know where groceries were going to come from. I didn't know where gas was going to come from for me to get to where I needed to go. I didn't know how we were going to pay utility bills, kids needing stuff. I didn't know how we were going to do it. So I conditioned myself to kind of, have this fear when it came to money. And so, that's something that really recently, even though we had that money, I realized that I still had this fear because when we had it and then we lost it, we chose to walk away from that income. We went through again a phase of really being broke and being tight. And it honestly has not been until very recently that I've realized some blockages that I had and some lack of belief that I had, even though I believe I can go out there and, sponsor and recruit and build a team and all those different things. I realized that I was still having thoughts of what if we're going to get broke again? What if, this check isn't everything that we need to cover all the bills? What if? And one of the new habits that I implemented is every night as I fall asleep, I listen to this 15-minute, it's a YouTube video. I don't watch the video because it's just something you listen to, but that reminds me what true abundance is. Okay? And ever since I started doing that, it has been amazing how money is just coming. Okay? But, I had to observe and take responsibility for the fact that I was not having that true belief. I still had this little seed of doubt of, will we ever be that financially free again? Okay. So then I took responsibility and I realized I need some reprogramming. I need to start to do something different. What can I start to implement? What can I be consistent with that's going to change that? And I found it, or it found me, and I started doing it, and I started seeing results right away. Okay. Another thing I started doing that the Inner Voice book taught me, shoot, I don't have it in here with me, but in the book it teaches every morning before I check my email, before I check Facebook, I do make coffee. After I make my coffee, I just go in my room, I close the door. Now with school out, I normally wake up before the kids get up. And so I just take 10, 15 minutes. I got a special composition book where every morning I just write in there, I say, God, creator of the universe, show me what you want me to do today and give me the power to be able to carry it out. And I listen and I write. I don't figure out how. I just listen and I write. And some days, like today, like only 4 things came to me. Some days I have a whole page full of things. But I listen. And when I stop hearing things, then I stop and I close the notebook. And I do everything that is on that list that day. I do everything. Everything that inner voice tells me to do, I do it. Okay? And I've been doing that for a week. And I have not been stressed out. I have not been frazzled. I have not felt like I've been being pulled in 10 different directions. I have had peace throughout my day. I have been very effective. I have not been spinning my wheels at all. And it's been amazing. So like I said, I implemented 2 habits just this week. Both of them take me maybe a total of 30 minutes. Okay, I do the writing in the morning. I listen to the YouTube video at night. And that's it. Those 2 things have dramatically changed my situation. And I'm going to keep doing them because they're working. Okay? So until you really observe your life, you're not going to find areas where you're not showing true belief. And as high as I thought my belief was, and as deep as I thought my belief was, if I had not observed my situation, and even though, my vacation check goes up every month, there was still something. There was still money would come in, but I still had that anxious feeling. And, for me, I observe my feelings in a way I know it's triggering something. So I want to figure out what that trigger is. I want to get to the root of that trigger. And when I kept getting those anxious feelings, even though my check was growing, I realized that my trigger was I was afraid of being broke again. And when you approach your day and when you approach your business with a fear of being broke, you can only receive what you're getting. You can only receive what you're putting out. Okay? That's how things work. Okay? So your success will never go further than your belief. And that's not what you say. That's not getting off a call and being all excited. That is really, really something deep within you. And that is something that you want to observe in your life every single day. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys. I really hope that resonated with you. I hope that kind of, got you stirred up a little bit, because this is real. I'm not getting you on the line just to hype you up and to feed you a bunch of, emptiness. I'm here to feed you the fuel that you need to really, really change your life. So that's it. Thanks you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate and love you guys a lot. So have a great rest of the evening, and I will talk to you soon.